Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk about handling a 401k in our current market environment. My neighbor mentioned that her husband wanted to change his 401k investment allocation to cash. I'm not sure, but I'm curious as to how many of you may have had a similar reaction. So I want to let's talk today on today's Wealthcast about why that may be a bad idea. It's important to understand that bear markets or recessions have enormous value for 401k plans and retirement plans, where you have a payroll deduction where it goes directly into your retirement account. Because when we think about how we manage a 401k in uncertain times, the idea of that systematic investing into your retirement plan is significant. So let's talk about three things that really matter on how to navigate uncertain markets as it relates to maintaining your 401k plan or other retirement plans and not, I remember historically during the Great Recession, people calling it a 201k. So this is very, very important to hear me out. The very first thing, you may have heard it in my world, it's called dollar cost averaging. And what it really means is systematic, consistent investing. When you have a retirement plan that has a payroll reduction attached to it, when the markets go down, you actually are buying those investments cheaply. If you're not near your retirement within like a 3-year time frame, it's like buying on sale. It's like shopping. It's the best time to be in equities in a down market or a recession when you're not near your retirement goal. And who doesn't want to buy things on sale, especially as we get closer to the holiday season? So, when you have systematic savings from your payroll deduction and the markets are down, it's the best time to buy investments cheaply, to keep your allocation as is, and to take advantage of the opportunity of the sale. Please take that into note. It is so important to understand that concept. When you're not near retirement, you love down markets for your retirement plan. You get excited because you are buying so much for a period of time, and then markets adjust, and then all of a sudden your values pop back up. So that is the number one thing to understand. If you don't get anything else from today, take away that point. Dollar cost averaging, key in down markets when you're not near your retirement objectives, particularly if you're young. Second is diversify. A globally diversified, low cost portfolio in your 401k plan or your 457 plan or 403b plan is your safeguard against fear and concern. You need to have all investments in that globally diversified mix and make sure that the investments that you choose are low cost. So all of those gains are really going to you and not the manufacturer of those mutual funds. And then third, planning. A planner and with a financial plan allows you to put things into perspective. When you take your current value, which is down, and you put that with your financial plan inside of your financial plan to see where you really stand, all of a sudden you know what that perspective is and that specific impact is to you. I can't tell you how often it's so easy to see the portfolio down a sizable amount without having any perspective of what that really means to you specifically. All you see is my portfolio's down. Well, until you know what the real impact is, it's like archery without a bullseye. You have no understanding of what that really means to you. So if you tie it to a financial plan, it puts perspective to your situation and it allows you to feel at peace because compounding interest also works in the other direction. When you do compounding in down markets all the way through life expectancy, you realize it's not as significant as you think it is as it relates to the current value today. So please understand, tie it to a financial plan so that the fear gets back into perspective and allows you to manage and allows you to put a long term view versus a short term perspective on what's going on around you. Because I have to say that I've done this before. I've been around in every one of these situations. A properly low cost, globally diversified portfolio with a financial plan brings it's a test of time. The capital markets survived the Fed's 1994 Fed funds hikes in 2001 with the tech bubble, that we thought that the technology collapse of the dot-com era, or the 9/11, uh, what happened on that very sad day. And also in the 2008, the global financial crisis. Yes, things happen and they're all very different. But recognize with time and planning, you're able to ride that out into perspective. That doesn't mean that you don't sometimes make adjustments to your plan. Again, there's always an opportunity there's always a silver lining. So it may be the perfect time for you to do a Roth conversion this year. Dividends and interest income is all-time high over the last several decades because we finally have interest rates that are a little higher than before. So there's always the other side to that conversation. So let's talk about what the IRS recently announced. New contribution limits for our pre-tax wages for Americans in our retirement plans. And it's one of the largest cap increases in decades, and it's almost 10%. So for those of you, the 22,500 a year maximum is the new amount, up from 20,500 for 401ks, 403bs, and other tax advantaged employer savings plans, in also 457 plans as well, which are available to public employees and workers at other tax exempt institutions like nonprofits. And then the limit on what we call the catch up provision, and that's for those over age 50, rose from 6,500 to 7,500. So that means workers who are 50 and older can contribute a maximum of 30,000 this year. 30,000. So if you're not doing it, make sure you go back, change your payroll, and change it so that you could take advantage of that maximum contribution for 2023. And then the contribution for IRAs, individual retirement accounts, rose another $500. So that maximum is 6,500 for 2023. I hope that you take this video and it really has made a difference in how you perceive uncertainty in capital markets. I hope you look at it as opportunity, and I hope that it works in your favor and becomes extremely profitable over the long term. Thank you for your time.